Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Do you still remember July the 4th, 1996? I remember it vividly. Independence Day in America, when I was just 16, having travelled alone from Scotland to this faraway country. Sitting in a movie theatre for the very first time watching Independence Day, I felt my heartbeat sync with the images on screen. Cities collapsing, alien ships hovering above the sky, and then President Whitmore stepping forward, his voice echoing powerfully through the room. That speech, full of strength and hope, made the entire audience hold its breath, then erupt in cheers and applause as he concluded, "We will not go quietly into the night." Every word, every rhythm penetrated deeply, engraving the feeling of unity, courage, and survival spirit into my heart.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
What I didn't know at the time was that Independence Day wasn't just a box office hit with over $870 million globally. It became the biggest blockbuster of 1996, but also held unbelievable secrets. The desert scene with Will Smith was created with the stench of millions of shrimp. The script once drove the US military crazy, and UFO sightings actually caused Californians to call the police. Let's turn back time to July 4th, 1996, to uncover the horrifying, nostalgic, and little-known truths behind the blockbuster Independence Day. 20. The speech almost disappeared forever.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Before the final battle. The moment I remember most from Independence Day was President Whitmore's speech. I still imagine his determined gaze, his voice echoing through the theatre. "We will not go quietly into the night." Every word he spoke lit a fire in everyone's hearts, making me a 16-year-old kid feel a surge of courage and hope. The on-screen battle was not only about survival, but became a symbol of human spirit of unity in the face of adversity. Few know that this scene almost got deleted. When the filmmakers screened it for executives, the reaction was too dramatic, too long, even cheesy. Some wanted to turn it into a minor scene, erasing the film's heartbeat. Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin had to fight relentlessly, defending every word and every rhythm, knowing that losing this moment would strip Independence Day of its soul. When audiences finally experienced it on the big screen, all doubts vanished. Thunderous applause filled the room, hearts sinking with Whitmore's words. That speech was not only preserved, it became a living symbol, transforming the film from a grand action movie into a timeless masterpiece. What almost got deleted became the voice of hope, unity, and indomitable spirit that humanity will never forget. Did this heartfelt speech impress you? Share your thoughts. 19. UFOs visited America. Behind the chaotic scenes of Independence Day, there's a strange truth that still gives people chills to prepare for the Operation Welcome Wagon scene. The crew decided to test a giant Sikorsky S-64 sky crane helicopter covered in multicoloured blinking lights. They just wanted to see how it looked in the night sky, a small, seemingly harmless test conducted quietly over California. But when those lights swirled in the dark, when the massive helicopter hovered like a sign from another world, something unexpected happened. Calls began pouring in. Over 150 Orange County residents looked up, saw the moving lights, and believed they were witnessing something non-human. Some panicked, some trembled. Some stood silently as if awaiting a sign. Many called the police to report a UFO sighting, claiming a strange glowing object was passing over the area. The police were equally confused. They had not been notified of any test. and when scattered radio signals were detected, they thought a major event was occurring. When officers finally traced the alien ship, they breathed a sigh of relief. It was just the film crew testing lights, just a preparation shot. Some laughed, relieved and incredulous that a helicopter could spark a collective delusion. But for the filmmakers, it was a serious warning. The power of imagery, even before hitting the big screen, was enough to stir humanity's most primal fear that something could come from beyond the sky. That testing night became a strange and haunting proof. Independence Day didn't even need to finish filming. Release a trailer or rely on special effects, it had already sown a sense of unease, exactly what the film wanted to convey. Did you know this truth? Share your thoughts. 18. The script infuriated the military. When Independence Day was still on paper, the crew received an almost irresistible offer. The US military would open the doors to weapons depots, vehicle, warehouses, costume stores, and even manpower support. They would provide everything needed to make the on-screen military world sharp, realistic, and impactful. For a massive project like Independence Day, this was a golden lifeline, a guarantee of visual quality. At that moment, it seemed everything was smooth sailing. But when military officials read the script in depth, one name made them stop immediately: Area 51. The secretive base, shrouded in speculation at the center of UFO stories and government-denied experiments. The military demanded all references to the area be removed if support was to continue. This was not just a technical request, it was a red line. They didn't want to contribute to anything that might make the public more suspicious of national secrets. When Emmerich and Dean Devlin refused to alter the script, all doors suddenly slammed shut. The crew suddenly lost the massive backing they had been promised. No real military vehicles, no authentic costumes, no tactical advisors on set. Everything had to be recreated using personal funds and manpower. As the filming schedule approached, the military's decision struck like a heavy blow, shaking the team. But it also forced them into an impossible choice: keep the heart of the story intact, or sacrifice inspiration for powerful support. In the end, they chose to preserve the story, and that's what allowed it to maintain the spirit of humanity facing the incomprehensible. 17. All explosions were real, including the White House. One of the most memorable scenes of Independence Day is the destruction of the White House by alien beams. What surprises many is that this scene didn't use CGI. It was done entirely with real models. The crew built a small replica about 1.5 meters long, complete with windows, doors and walls carefully decorated with lights, smoke and hidden wiring. During the explosion, high-speed cameras captured every detail of the real fireball, creating a dramatic slow-motion effect. Not just the White House, most city destruction scenes used intricate miniatures and real explosives. From buildings, streets, famous monuments, to alien ships, every detail was meticulously crafted, even miniature interiors, so debris looked realistic in flight. Vertical model construction and top-down filming allowed smoke and fire to spread across streets, making explosions appear massive, even though the models were small. Although CGI was used, it only played a supporting role, not generating the main explosions. Roland Emmerich emphasized that combining models and pyrotechnics allowed perfect control over details, creating shots that computer technology at the time couldn't replicate. Thanks to this method, Independence Day's destruction scenes remained vivid and realistic, becoming iconic for the film and giving audiences a sense of apocalyptic destruction, as if the world were burning before their eyes. 16. Will Smith was not the first choice. Today, it's hard to imagine Independence Day without Will Smith. He embodied Captain Stephen Hiller with charm, humor, and courage, making witty lines and intense action scenes iconic in pop culture. But few know that the studio initially did not want him for the role they had other actors in mind. The studio feared casting a young black actor as the lead might not appeal to international audiences. In the 90s, such concerns were common. Director Roland Emmerich and producer-screenwriter Dean Devlin strongly opposed this. They believed Will Smith was perfect, full of energy, naturally talented with fame from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, making him both strong and relatable, and adding light humour to soften the global fear of alien threats. The crew even declared that without Will, they would abandon the project. After tense negotiations, the studio finally relented and Will Smith got the role. The decision paid off. Steven Hiller's character not only boosted his film career, but paved the way for blockbusters like Men in Black. From then on, Will Smith became a global film icon. 15. The film was banned in Lebanon. Independence Day became a global hit. People worldwide flocked to theatres to watch Earth fight alien invaders. The film was loved in many countries, but not all welcomed it warmly. In Lebanon, it faced serious issues. Scenes involving Jews and Israel, including Judd Hirsch wearing a kippah, leading White House staff and soldiers praying in Hebrew, and sequences showing Israeli soldiers cooperating with Arabs against aliens were monitored and cut by Lebanese public security, fearing potential religious and political sensitivity. Censorship mainly stemmed from domestic political and religious groups, especially Hezbollah, claiming the film was biased and controversial about Jewish representation. Authorities reviewed each scene to ensure it did not violate film regulations regarding religious or racial discrimination. Actor Jeff Goldblum later emphasized that the film's message was actually about cooperation among peoples against a common enemy, not favoritism toward any group. 14. The speech was inspired by Shakespeare.
Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore.
President Whitmore's speech in Independence Day is one of the film's most iconic scenes, occurring right before the final battle. He stood before pilots, inspiring freedom-fighting spirit and emphasizing that this day would no longer be just a holiday, but remembered as the day humans rose against the enemy. This speech was inspired by a famous moment in William Shakespeare's Henry V, when the young king encouraged his small army to face a hopeless battle, emphasizing honor and camaraderie. The Independence Day writers aimed to recreate a similar feeling, hope in fear and strength from the human spirit. The result was a profound, moving speech, turning a cinematic moment into a classic thanks to a style and tone inspired by Shakespeare. 13. The trailer looked too real. No, sir. Just a little eager to get up there and beat up the aliens, that's all. Independence Day is famous for its grand alien invasion scenes, but even before its release, its power was felt through advertisements. One Spanish TV ad caused real panic. This teaser mimicked spaceship landings, screaming citizens, and city destruction. But what terrified viewers was the ultra-realistic presentation, news graphics, emergency alerts, serious music, and no immediate explanation that it was just a movie ad. Some viewers believed Earth was actually under attack, calling police news centers, and even running outside to check the sky. After the panic subsided, TV stations had to clarify it was just a movie trailer with no intent to deceive. This strange event demonstrates the power of fear and surprise the film evoked, even before cameras started rolling. Independence Day made audiences feel the danger and drama it promised. Have you ever been scared by this movie trailer? Share your thoughts. 12. The dolphin ring fashion craze.
What's this?
Oh, that's nothing.
Hold on, man. What is this?
Jasmine kind of has a thing for dolphins. I don't know.
Stevie, this is a wedding ring.
Do you remember the dolphin-shaped engagement ring Will Smith gave his fiancée, played by Vivica A. Fox? The delicate design with a dolphin wrapped around the central stone not only created a romantic highlight in the film, but also intrigued and delighted audiences. The ring's appearance drew attention so much that after the film's release, jewelers reported a short-lived dolphin ring craze showing the influence of movies on shopping trends. Interestingly, the jewelry company initially wasn't authorized to produce official replicas. If they had been, they could have made a huge profit from this trend. Nevertheless, Vivica A. Fox was happily allowed to keep the real ring, turning it into a precious personal memento. Today, stores still create movie-inspired rings with gold dolphins wrapping the central stone, showing the accessory's enduring appeal. A small item in a romantic scene became a phenomenon, making viewers want to own and experience a piece of cinematic magic in real life. Would you want this ring? Share your opinion. 11. Most of Goldblum's scenes were improvised. A fact is that many of Jeff Goldblum's lines were improvised, adding naturalness and vitality to David Levinson. According to Dean Devlin, over half of Goldblum's dialogue with Will Smith and Judd Hirsch was not in the script. Instead of memorizing lines, actors were encouraged to think on the spot, making scenes more relaxed, humorous, and authentic. This is especially clear in the scenes where David and Will pilot the alien ship into the mothership. Most lines in these tense moments were made up on the spot, from humorous remarks to shocked reactions. Goldblum's improvisation made David a character both intelligent and witty, creating emotional highlights amid grand action sequences. A memorable example is the car scene when Judd Hirsch asks, "Slow down, do you think Washington will still be there when we get there?" and immediately adds, "Oh damn, maybe not." Devlin revealed this was entirely improvised, yet the moment brought genuine emotion, making the scene lively and engaging. Such improvisation not only revealed character personality, but also contributed to the film's lasting appeal. 10. Will Smith declined to return for the sequel. Will Smith's decision to turn down Independence Day Resurgence surprised many fans. The main reason was that he wanted to move forward rather than cling to the past, choosing to explore new roles instead of returning to the familiar character of Stephen Hiller. When asked, Smith said he wanted to challenge himself with other projects, and the role of Deadshot in Suicide Squad gave him the opportunity to expand his career rather than simply reprise an old character for nostalgia. Timing and scheduling were also crucial factors. At that time, he was considering projects like Concussion and Suicide Squad, so he could not dedicate time to the Independence Day sequel. Initially, director Roland Emmerich wanted Smith to return, creating a father-son storyline between generations of pilots, but when the script was revised to focus on a new generation, his character was no longer necessary. Will Smith's absence created a significant emotional gap in the sequel. According to him, when the Resurgence trailer was released and he saw Stephen Hiller was absent, he felt genuinely sad and emotional. The result was that Resurgence earned 3 times its budget, but failed to make the same impact as the original, and was considered a disappointment both financially and in terms of content. 9. The mothership's massive display of power. The alien mothership in Independence Day was truly enormous, hovering over Earth, obscuring the sky, and commanding the entire fleet of smaller ships. In the film, it measured over 500 kilometers long and more than 300 meters wide, making it one of the largest objects ever seen on screen in the mid-90s. However, this colossal size created numerous behind-the-scenes challenges. Computers at the time were not powerful enough to handle the gigantic model, so the visual effects team had to divide the ship into multiple sections to animate it and carefully plan the shots. Every detail on screen was calculated to let audiences feel the ship's immense scale and terrifying threat. The scene of the mothership advancing toward Earth was shot in slow motion, showcasing its power and danger, and became one of the most frequently remembered moments in the film. Behind the scenes, the crew went to great lengths to bring the concept of a gigantic alien object to life convincingly on screen. 8. The US president was once a real fighter pilot.
I want another shot at it.
Sir, I strongly recommend you disengage.
Eagle 1. Fox 3.
The character of President Thomas J. Whitmore in Independence Day, played by Bill Pullman, was not only a national leader but also a former fighter pilot who served in the Gulf War. This detail was added to the script to explain why he could personally fly an FA-18 Hornet during the final battle, an action that would have been hard to believe without a military background. Whitmore didn't just lead the military with words, he actively fought, transforming him from an ordinary president into a symbol of courage and true leadership. Throughout the film, Whitmore's pilot experience is skillfully highlighted. When he enters the cockpit and maneuvers the fighter to confront aliens, the audience sees the poise and confidence of a seasoned veteran. Not just a politician giving speeches. This not only adds credibility to the action scenes, but emphasizes that Whitmore is a leader who leads by example, ready to personally stand on the front lines. 7. The strange smell in the desert.
And what the hell is that smell? I could have been at a barbecue!
The scene where Will Smith drags an alien across the desert is memorable because it was filmed on the salt flats near the Great Salt Lake, Utah, where the lake bed mud contained millions of decaying brine shrimp. When the wind blew, the distinctive stench spread throughout the area, creating an extremely realistic and horrifying experience for the actors. And remember Will Smith's famous line, "And what the hell is that smell?" The truth is, it was completely improvised. No one on set warned him about the stench, so his reaction was as natural as possible. Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich later admitted that the real smell helped make the moment lively and humorous, while also enhancing the scene's realism. What do you think about this fact? Share your thoughts. 6. The alien actor nearly fainted. The aliens in Independence Day were not just computer creations. Many close-up shots were real actors wearing meticulously designed monster suits with long limbs, slimy skin, and large heads, evoking an advanced but terrifying species. The suits were crafted carefully to convey the creature's lifelike and fearsome qualities. Behind the mysterious on-screen appearance, actors endured hardships few knew about. Once in the suits, they were almost trapped in a heavy layer of material with limited airflow and restricted vision. Hearing standing or moving became a challenge while internal temperatures soared under the hot studio lights. Some actors even fainted during filming. They had to take frequent breaks, hydrate, or wait for fans and cooling pipes to lower their body temperature. Despite the crew's efforts to ease the difficulty with support devices and longer breaks, the suits still caused fatigue and stress, forcing many shots to be shortened. 5. Inspiration for the ending from the War of the Worlds. When the alien mothership looms over the sky, its weapons are so powerful that nothing on Earth can penetrate its shields, and all hope seems lost. Yet humanity refuses to surrender. A bold idea sparks a computer virus uploaded by Jeff Goldblum into the invader's mothership. This seemingly small act causes the alien's entire system to collapse completely, reversing the situation and turning the impossible into possible. Few know that this idea was inspired by H.G. Wells's classic story, The War of the Worlds, where Earth is attacked by powerful aliens and ultimately defeated by natural bacteria. Independence Day modernizes the concept. Instead of bacteria humans use, a computer virus, a seemingly small weapon capable of defeating an all-powerful enemy. This detail not only changes the outcome, but also serves as a powerful reminder sometimes the smallest things are the key to overcoming the greatest threats. 4. The original name was ID4, Under Pressure to Keep It. In fact, the film came very close to having a completely different title. When audiences think of Independence Day, they associate it with patriotic pulses, the fateful moment of July 4th, and humanity rising against annihilation. Yet few know that the title was once uncertain, never guaranteed to be approved. Another studio had a nearly identical title idea and had no intention of yielding it. This threat caused the team to live under constant anxiety. Therefore, they prepared a backup title, Doomsday. It sounded strong, conveying the intensity of a dying world, but lacked the light, the pulse of hope, the very essence the story wanted to deliver. This title leaned toward the darkness of destruction rather than the spirit of uprising that the film embodied. In the moments when everything seemed about to slip away, the director chose to stand up against pressure. He added a central speech by the president, a climactic, tragic moment where the line, "Today we celebrate our Independence Day," resounded like a declaration of survival. This unexpected move made the title more than just a name. It became the soul of the film. Thanks to this, Independence Day was preserved as a vow of survival amid closing darkness. 3. The script was written in 4 weeks. It may be hard to believe, but the script for Independence Day, one of the biggest sci-fi blockbusters of the 90s, was written in just 4 weeks, a full month from start to finish. While most films take months, even years to complete a script, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, having just finished Stargate, were suddenly inspired by one unexpected question. Did they believe in aliens? From that question, a crazy vision emerged. What if aliens did not come in peace but to destroy Earth entirely? They stayed up late, working continuously, crafting a story of people from around the world uniting against alien invaders. A tale both dramatic, humorous, and inspiring. Despite being written in a rush, the story remained lively with suspenseful moments, and some scenes were adjusted and improved during filming. This fast and wild creative process proves that when a team is truly dedicated, brilliant ideas can emerge unexpectedly, yet powerfully, creating a cinematic legend remembered by millions today. 2. A blockbuster with a massive budget. Independence Day was one of the biggest budget blockbusters of the mid-90s, with a production cost of around $75 million. At the time, this was an enormous investment, second only to Waterworld 1995, which was once considered the most expensive film in the world. This budget reflected Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin's ambition to create a global-scale disaster film from thousands of action scenes to massive destructive effects. With this budget, the crew could deploy a series of spectacular visual effects never done before, from city destruction scenes to enormous alien ships. Every dollar was invested in detail, from intricate miniatures to CGI, to create a visually stunning and emotionally engaging experience for audiences. As a result, despite financial risk, Independence Day became a box office phenomenon, earning over $817 million worldwide. The generous budget not only allowed the film to achieve spectacular effects, but also confirmed that bold investment in cinematic vision can create success beyond expectations. 1. Director Roland Emmerich criticized his own child. Interestingly, Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day, did not believe in aliens. Although he is famous for films depicting extraterrestrial invasions, Emmerich admitted he didn't think they existed. This is an intriguing paradox. Most Americans and Germans believe we are not alone in the universe, and many scientists consider extraterrestrial life plausible. But for Emmerich, it was all cinematic storytelling, a medium to explore big human themes, cooperation, and survival. He even openly criticised his own film. He admitted that Independence Day had flaws, especially in its plot, which relied on a series of convenient coincidences for characters to meet at the right place at the right time. Many audiences and critics overlooked this due to being captivated by spectacular action scenes and special effects. Emmerich believed these details were not crucial, as the film's essence was allegorical, where message and emotion mattered more than absolute logic or accuracy. This shows that a director does not need to believe in what he portrays on screen. Just as Stanley Kubrick didn't believe in ghosts while making The Shining, or George Lucas didn't necessarily believe in the Force, Emmerich used aliens as a tool to tell a story about humanity, about courage, sacrifice, and cooperative spirit in adversity, making Independence Day a cultural icon without needing to prove the existence of extraterrestrial enemies. After exploring these 20 fascinating facts, it's clear that Independence Day is not just a sci-fi blockbuster, but the result of bold ideas, insane visual effects, and relentless effort from the entire crew. From real explosions and intricate models to the heartfelt performances of Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, every detail contributed to a classic film cherished by generations. Are you a fan of Independence Day? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you love fun facts and behind-the-scenes stories about your favourite films, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications and follow us to not miss future videos. Thank you for watching.